The most powerful lesson I learned from performing stand-up comedy is that silence is the greatest teacher. I've learned to reframe silence, both in public speaking and stand-up comedy, when I feel like it's not connecting, to say, all right, this is a teachable moment. Let me see what I learned here. But it always hurts. It still can be painful, particularly when you're doing stand-up comedy. You're in New York City, you're very vulnerable being up there on stage and you're sharing your thoughts and your heart. You have to do that if you're gonna say anything meaningful. You have to share of yourself. And when you feel like it's just not connecting, it's hard not to take it personally. But you have to learn to just kind of dust off your feet and move on. This has dramatically shifted my perspective, both as a speechwriter and a public speaker, from thinking, here's what I want to say, to thinking, here's what the audience will hear. It's also helped me as a parent and thinking about, okay, here's what I want to teach my kids, here's what I want to tell, here are the rules. Shifting that to how I'm going to use these words, they're going to connect with my kids, to build the relationship, to strengthen the relationship, to let them feel encouraged and to pour into them. One of the things I've done is I figured out the questions I should stop asking. Like when I pick them up from school, I never ask, how was your day? Nobody, they've been in school for whatever, 8 hours, and they don't want to talk about school. It's just like when you have a job, and you come home and someone asks you, how was your day? I mean, I assume that's the case. I haven't worked in an office in 10 years. In improv, there's a rule that you don't ask questions, because when you're in a scene and you ask a question of your partner, you're putting your partner on a spot, and now you're saying you have to give information here. But instead, make a statement and you're contributing information. So you're making it easier on your partner. You're respecting your partner and you're serving your partner. And then they can build on that in many different ways versus being forced into having to answer that specific question. Took my kids to youth group meeting when they were younger. And instead of asking my daughter, how do small groups go? I made a statement. I said, it sounds like Daiquiri had a fun time at the party, and just left it at that. And then my daughter can respond or not respond. But I've also haven't taken from the relationship account by asking her a question and maybe getting her just a little bit annoyed. She can just walk away from the statement or she can build on it. After the divorce, having my kids only half time, I'm limited on how much I can contribute to their lives or build them up or encourage them or communicate. So one of the things I've done is I've really tried to listen closely to what excites them, what they're interested in, and what they want to talk about, and build on those things. So a few months ago, my son told me about this pizza review series. Dave Portnoy, who's the founder of Barstool Sports, has this one bite pizza review that he does. And so my son's telling me about this, and you can see in his nonverbals, I mean, he just kind of lit up. He was excited about it. He's a teenage boy. He doesn't get excited about anything. So I've built that into our relationship. I had to run an errand to go pick up something out in New Haven not too long ago. And so I told my son, all right, we're gonna go do this together, and I need your help on this. And then, because he hates running errands. He can't stand running errands, but it's really important, especially when you get divorced. I mean, it's been 9 years for me now, but it's always important just to run errands and do those basic, normal things for kids. So I told him, look, New Haven, Connecticut has some of the best pizzerias in the world. So we're gonna go out there, we're gonna check out one. We went out and we went to Frank Pepe's and just had a blast. We met this manager, Jeff. I introduced myself. I asked if we could make a video with him. And man, he lit up. He gave us a great experience, and he took us on a tour behind the scenes, and I'll post that video later on. But my son and I had a blast. It was a boring errand turned into something that was a lot of fun for us.
Hey, can we roast some marshmallows while you have that?
That's right.
And it just came from listening to what he's interested in and then investing in what he's interested in. So I stopped at Mystic Pizza yesterday. My son was with his mom. I went to visit my friend Mike Rogers out in Rhode Island. And so I thought, well, on the way back, I'm gonna stop at Mystic Pizza. I'll explain this to my son. I'll talk to him about the cultural impact this had behind Julia Roberts' movie. And then I'll send him a video of the pizza. One of the things Dave Portnoy talks about is the structure of the pizza. You want it to stand up like this, the crust, and not like this. Nobody wants this. You want this. So the structure wasn't there. As Dave talks about, it's floppy. So I took a video of it and I sent it to my son. And we ended up having this wonderful little banter by text. He responded, well, I'll cut to the video. Can we go to the tape?
A hole in the wall called the Mystic Pizza.
It's really delicious.
My son and I have become huge fans of Dave Portnoy's One Bite Pizza reviews. So on the way back from Weekapaug, I stopped here and I got a slice. I sent this video to my son. He says, I haven't seen that much flop since Biden's campaign. You know, it's a bittersweet moment when your son becomes funnier than you, but I'm just so proud right now. And I gotta go find better pizza. So here's a challenge. Find something, listen to your kids this week and find something new that they're interested and exciting in. And then make an appointment for next week on how you can invest in that. You know, how you can bring joy and love into your relationship with your kid in a new way by finding out this new interest.